All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the second half of the show. It is the right side of Kentucky sports. If you listened to the first half of Blitz the Bookie, thank you very much. If you did not, as soon as we get done here, go on whatever streaming platform that you are using and find the first half of Blitz the Bookie and check it out. So we are here after a tough loss for the Cats. Fought tooth and nail again for the fifth time in a row against Ole Miss. He wasn't the kryptonite this week, but man, another tough game against Ole Miss. Just couldn't get it done. But we got, I think, what Anthony wanted. He hinted towards it last week. Cutter Boley, we got to see him late in the game. He didn't lead us to a win or anything, but
passed the eye test.
He did. I mean, even the announcers mentioned it after his second throw that he made, which I think was an incomplete pass.
Mm-hmm.
They said that he looked more comfortable than Calzada did in the first 2 weeks. And it was the eye test. It was very apparent.
He throws a better ball.
He came right in. Was his first play the big throw down the sideline?
Yeah.
First play.
You got a pass interference on it.
Drop back in the pocket, look good, look comfortable.
Identify.
Let the thing fly. Look, we still need to see a lot more, and I think this is going to be the week. I haven't heard any updates on Calzada, but if there's any week to do it, this is it. Eastern Michigan at home, night game, perfect tune-up, perfect game for Cutter Boley to see what he's got before possibly having to go into a tough SEC schedule. So I was happy to see him. Look, I'm not wishing injury on anybody, so I hope Calzada's good, but I think Cutter Boley's the guy too.
She heard all the chants, Cutter Boley, and then when he came in, everybody was excited. But look, I wanted to be Calzada to be good as anybody, but I tell you, there was a play. Well, we had a lot of drops, and I'll take up for Calzada there. I do think Calzada's a little bit more mobile, but there was a play early, man, where a guy was just wide open in the middle of the field. I mean, he would have been a touchdown. There wasn't nobody within 10, 15 yards.
Where'd he throw it on that play?
That was that one where he threw out to the right, and we thought it was going to be defensive pass interference, but somehow ended up being offensive pass interference.
That was bad. I thought that was a bad call.
Yeah, that guy was wide open. And then seeing Cutter come in the game, he identified one-on-one. He attacked it. And the play I was most impressed with was the play he didn't complete. If he had completed, it would have been a tie game. The guy was there, and he just barely overthrew him. But Derrick Henry's freaking running wild on these animals. He's up to 300 yards, dude. My wife's cousin, John Bradley, I told you about that business idea they had with the Ravens about the no-interest credit card. Dude,
the Ravens are running rampant right now on the Bills,
like I said,
40
I'm not taking
points.
I'm not knocking Lamar, but dude, when you got an offense like this, they can't stop this guy. How you going to stop the passing game too? That's hard to defend, dude. That's hard to defend.
All right, back to the Cats.
All right,
back to the Cats.
Yeah, no doubt.
My brother brought up a good point about Calzada. He wanted to know if the practice field is wider because the amount of balls he sells out of bounds on either side. He goes, I mean,
it shouldn't be, but you got a point. You got a point.
I mean, he sells a lot of them just out of bounds.
What about that ball he threw back across his body? It's crazy. He was going left, and then he threw back across right, but didn't just throw it a little bit downfield. He threw it 20, 30, you're a wild man, dude.
And then Calzada, even, it was a good play to Wilcox. We ended up scoring, but he still underthrew that, and he was wide open. That should have just been a 40 or 50-yard touchdown. Instead, he kind of overthrows him, and Wilcox is sitting there waiting for it.
But take that for him. There was a lot of drops. There was a lot. I don't know how many there was, but there was a lot. One hit the guy right in the chest. It was a big gainer early in the game. I thought we were just as good as Ole Miss. I'm not saying we were better. They got us on a couple on those quick wide receivers out. I think that can be fixed. And on that 4th and 1, we don't give up big plays at Kentucky. We play a very bend don't break defense. It works for us. We don't give up big plays under Brad White. It just don't happen much. And in 4th and 1, we were trying to stop them at about midfield, and they threw that ball. And that was a backbreaker because we usually make teams march down the field, and the closer we get to the end zone, the better we are on defense. I hated giving that up because I don't feel like they earned that. They did.
It was deja vu from last year because it wasn't 4th and 1 for us last year. It was 4th and 7, but we went deep and hit them with a touchdown last year. So to me, as soon as that happened, I said, oh shit, they just hit us like we hit them last year.
The defense has been pretty lights out though. I think the Toledo win was a good win, and I think we were right with this team. And we were good enough to beat them.
Defense looks good. I just think that I don't know if the depth is there on
I agree
our
with that,
defense,
Charlie.
especially the front end of our defense.
I
I'm
agree
not
with that.
sure that the depth is there. I saw us wearing down in the third quarter.
But it
wasn't even in the fourth quarter. It was about 3, 4, 5 minutes left in the third quarter. You could tell that our defensive front was wearing down.
There is not many teams that's going to wear you down more in the situation we were in. Early in the season, conditioning might not be there. Ole Miss, which runs tempo. Also, they run a lot of different stuff that's going to make you move and stuff like that. And believe it or not, I was at the game when the sun came out. It was getting pretty warm out there. It was. So it cools down. We get a little bit more conditioning as the season goes on. And you're not going to be playing Ole Miss's tempo every game. And look, I'll say it, face some injuries. Been the name of the game. I feel like Stoops got away from it there. But be good about it. Don't get caught. Just face some injuries. Slow that tempo down. Tempo always favors the offense.
Are we ever going to win an SEC game at home again?
It's been.
I mean, I think we're
it's tough.
0-8.
Tough.
I mean,
I feel like we've had some.
We got the full Stoops experience on Saturday.
Hey, we
just disorganization. At the end of the half.
Let's talk about that.
Calzada, there's a video of Calzada looking over the sideline, going, "What the fuck are we doing?"
I didn't like that.
Who's he asking?
Like
Stoops,
I didn't
Hamden.
Everybody
under Hamden, we have more interceptions than touchdowns. I mean,
do we really?
Yeah. I mean, Stoops.
I'm not a big Bush Hamden guy.
I was not as happy with the game as you guys are.
Okay.
I was very disappointed. I thought we had shots to win. We were unorganized at the end of the half. I mean, that's typical Stoops stuff that we were dealing with years ago.
He's not a great offensive, but why not give him credit for defense?
No, not
he's a great.
We're not
he's
talking
a great
offense.
defensive
We're
guy.
talking about game management.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. Stoops is not a great offensive guy. I'll be the first to tell you that. But he's damn good at defense. I agree. I'm not a big Bush Hamden guy. Everybody was booing him because he was running the ball early. You don't want to make that mistake and give that back to him. That's just a conservative coach that plays defense. It's just a different angle than what the public wants. But it worked. It got him a big run. Now, I did not like the disorganization. I'm not a Bush Hamden guy. And I do think Stoops needs to get somebody.
And this guy's been here 2 years.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
We've had this guy for 2 years. We've had 3 other coordinators in the 3 years before.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan of Hamden either.
I'm not.
And we still don't have a quarterback. Our receivers are mediocre. We just don't have a complete offense.
No,
and we're so close.
But we can run the ball. We're really good at running the ball, and I think we can be a decent passing team with the right quarterback. We don't got to be a great passing team. You can be primarily running team that just mixes in some passing.
We had an opportunity to mix in a pass, and we run a QB draw on 3rd and 9.
Yeah.
I mean,
if it works, you're a genius. But yeah, I agree, Josh. I do agree with that. I agree. With that.
I just want to be better. I enjoyed the game, and I thought we did have a chance to beat that team, but we stepped our own dick.
Yeah.
I'll pile on. I can't stand Hamden either. I am not a fan. The play calling is bad. The disorganization, I think, was partly his. That's
is that on the offensive coordinator or is that on the head coach?
Look, it's on Stoops, but I do think it has a little bit to do with him when our offense is on the field, and even
if Stoops,
he's the one talking in Calzada's ear,
right?
So get the plays in a little. That's been an issue. It didn't just start this weekend. That has been an issue over the Stoops tenure. Now, I will say it got better in the Stoops tenure because if you remember the first 2 or 3 years, there was a lot of issues that we had with stuff like that. And then I feel like there was a period where it got a whole lot better. And now I feel like it's starting to come back into play a little bit. Last year, there was some incidents. And now this year, that was a train wreck right before halftime.
Yeah, right before half.
absolute train wreck.
The announcers making fun of us.
Announcers calling us out.
Sometimes them announcers are idiots.
Well, he goes, Kentucky gets the ball at the halftime. Unless Stoops to first. Greg McElroy said that.
Dude, he's a bitch.
I didn't hear that.
Yes.
They're bitches. Dude.
I give them credit for that. Call these coaches out when they make mistakes. These guys should.
That's why they're on the broadcasting and not coaching.
Now,
Stoops is a conservative coach. He runs the ball. I don't like the play that happens. Coaches make coaching blunders all the time.
The announcers shouldn't be sitting there just catering to the coaches.
Well, why do they do it to some coaches and not others? I see them kiss officials' ass all the time on there.
Shouldn't do either one. The announcers should be there.
They won't say a bad word about an official.
They should. The announcers.
Those announcers 100% have their favorites. 100%.
Yes, they do.
But they should all.
Josh Allen just made a mistake.
They should all call out what they're seeing. I mean, just bottom line. And it wasn't a secret. Everybody was sitting there watching it. We're like, what are we doing? So
it was a mess.
I give the announcers credit for calling them out because I think they should more.
Yeah.
I really do. And it's probably one of them things where the bosses are telling them to not do that stuff so much. I'm sure it is, but to me, that's what they're there for. I think they should be calling out officials. I think they should be calling out coaches.
Well, do it consistently. And I'm with you. I'm not saying that's wrong, but do it consistently. I don't like it when they pick and choose who they do it to. That's my big thing with it. I feel like they're scared to death. I think
just call what you're seeing.
They're scared to death to call it officials. I mean, you'll get guys, some of these really mediocre announcers, they kiss the officials' ass on every call they make. Call them out, dude, when it's a bad call. But I think there is kind of rules against that within their TV stations. Do y'all think there is? Like when
I guarantee you
I think there's things where they're not allowed to criticize officials as much.
Yeah,
and I do think they all those announcers have their buddies that are coaches.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's groups. There's groups.
They need their inside info, so they're going to be cool to this coach. Well, this dude was a dick to me last time. So
there's a lot of angles there. You might be an offensive guy. That might be a defensive coach. Look, an offensive guy that's just an offensive-minded guy, Stoops is going to drive them crazy. He just is. But there's two ways to coach a game. I'm a little bit more on the other side. But I'm not dumb enough to believe that both sides can work, especially in college football. Now, the NFL is a little bit different in today's world. But in college football, I think both ways. I think there's 2 or 3 different ways can work. But I will say this. If Bush Heyman is good or bad, maybe Stoops didn't like him after the first year. But I agree. But
Brad White's got to hate him.
Yeah.
He's got to hate him.
But I'll say
Poor
this.
guy.
You couldn't fire him after that, after not having the same offensive coordinator. You almost had to keep him for stability reasons.
I agree.
And Bush Heyman came in with a good name. He did.
Mm-hmm.
It was out Boise.
I was excited about the hire.
But I've read stuff from Boise fans that said he wasn't the big part of that. He was kind of a coat rider and a lot of that success out there. And they said they were glad to kind of move on from him. They did improve when they moved on from him. They did improve when they moved on. I don't know. I'm not impressed. I don't like
I got to see more Cutter Boley.
Yeah.
We got to see these receivers get better.
Yeah.
So has anybody, have we heard an update on Calzada?
No, I've seen a little bit.
It don't matter. I think Cutter starts.
I do too.
I think
I'm saying, have we got an update?
No, there was nothing. Like they said, Stoops kind of answered 0 questions about it. He didn't look hurt on the sideline.
This may be a stretch. Stoops goes to him and said, "Look, man, I'm going to give you your best situation. We're going to come with Cutter. But if we say you're hurt, and if Cutter struggles a little with the team, we don't lose the morale." Maybe it is a stretch, but
Stoops ain't going through all that.
Okay.
Sit your ass on the bench. Cutter, get in, dude.
Okay.
Stoops ain't babying these motherfuckers. Oh, let me
Dude,
get
you almost got a baby on this day and age.
Stoops ain't doing that.
I don't know.
Stoops ain't doing
I
that.
don't know which angle. I
Lane
like
Kiffin might do that. Stoops ain't doing that. Stoops is old school. Calzada, sit your ass on the bench. Cutter, get in. Sling the thing around.
I do think
hand it off a few times.
I do think Stoops has made this comment. He says he always tries not to overreact and do the right thing. And I feel like you see that with Stoops, like a lot. Whether it's right or wrong, I've never seen Stoops cave to the fans much. I did last year when he put Cutter in that game there at the end of the season. But I've never seen Stoops cave to fans. He usually does what he thinks is right. Even at the end of the first half, fans were booing him when he was running the ball. I understood that whole concept. And it broke out for a big play. But he was sticking to it. And that's what you got to do, in my opinion, as a coach. Fans ain't coaching the damn team. You do good, they're going to keep you. If you do bad, they're going to fire you. So there ain't no point in kissing their ass. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion.
So what y'all want to see this week?
I want to see more of McGowan because I think he's the bright spot right now. I do think
that's a good 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
When they brought Dodwell in, there was a considerable drop-off.
McGowan. Yeah, I told you. I thought McGowan would be the MVP of the team. The guy's a stud. He's
McGowan,
a stud.
I think it was pretty obvious that every time Dodwell came in, I'm not saying he didn't play good. I don't know what his numbers were, but it seemed to me like every time he came in, the offense just kind of sputtered and stalled a little bit. I'm not blaming it on the kid, and I think he's actually good. But Seth McGowan is
explosive.
Our number one back. Mm-hmm. I think he is. He's explosive, and he's powerful too. Yeah. He's not just a speed back.
He broke
tackles. I think we're going to have a 1-2 punch, but I'm with you.
I'm not saying it's not a 1-2 punch. I just think I don't think it's as close as maybe everybody's kind of thinking. I think there's a little gap between those
Dodwell
two.
had the big game the first game, but I'm with you.
One run.
Yeah, you're right. I like McGowan better too.
But you know how you were saying we kind of got those little ankle tackles 2 weeks ago. I felt like McGowan broke through those a little stronger this week against Ole Miss, which is probably
they say as powerful as Dodwell is, he's actually don't break tackles well. As weird as that is, they say he's very powerful. He gets the shoulder pads low, big guy. cuts well for a big guy, but does not break tackles well for remember C-Rod? You couldn't only tackle C-Rod, son.
He's low to the ground like a bowling ball.
Yeah, I loved him.
You asked what I want to see. I want to see Cutter.
I agree.
I want to see more of McGowan, and I would like to see a little bit more depth on the defensive line. I'd like to see some of the guys that rotate in on the defensive line make a little bit more of an impact, because I do think that was an issue with us late in the Ole Miss game. And, we've got a brutal schedule. So it's the pace thing that you talked about. Yeah, we're not going to see a lot of that pace like that.
No.
There's not many teams in the country that
We
play
won't see
like
another
Ole Miss
one.
does.
We won't see one.
But we will see teams like Georgia and Texas and other teams that have 2 and 3 guys sitting there waiting to come in on the defensive line, on the offensive line. So I just hope that our depth can keep up with the SEC teams. And this will be a good week. I mean, it's Eastern Michigan at home, night game. Should be a win. So this will be the time for Cutter, and hopefully the time for maybe some other guys to get some run that maybe they haven't got yet.
Hey, big shout out to so when we go to the games, my son, his buddies we always go down after the games, watch, let the players come out to the practice facility, but there's a path there and you wait for them, and the players come and mess with the kids, and their families are waiting down there for them. And it's just a thing we do after the games. And we've done that for years now. And last year's team really, just some things I didn't like about a lot of them. Not divas, but just, I don't know. The kids are down there. You just took an ass kicking, but the kids are still down there. You go down there and give them some love, dude. That's your fans. You just got beat and they're still down there. People turn on you. These kids ain't turning on you. Go down there. That's the future. That's the next generation. Go down there and show them some love. But this year's team, man, dude, they seem like a bunch of really good guys. And that was the theme of what Stoops tried to bring in. But big shout out to Souls. He was super awesome with the kids. Big smile, being positive. Rodriguez, straight up dude, man. Straight up dude. I watched him. You don't got to do that stuff. You can just walk right by. He took time, spent it with the kids. That means something to me. Not just for my son, but for all the kids. Look, adults will turn on you in a second, dude. Especially a lot of Kentucky fans, but a lot of fans across the country. But when you just got beat, like especially last year, we get some bad beatings, and your fans are sitting down there waiting on you and their kids, take a few minutes and just show them some love. But I give a big shout out to this year's team. I thought they did a really good job with that.
So, yeah, Eastern Michigan, Saturday, 7:30. I think Blitz the Bookie might try to make an appearance down in Lexington this weekend. Who's Louisville got this week?
They're off.
All right, so before we get off here, let's talk a little bit about it. What'd you think about the James Madison
I
matchup?
thought the game
James
went.
Madison was a sleeper. I told you.
The game went how I thought it was going to be. I said it was going to be close, and at the end, Louisville just, big plays.
Got lucky.
Isaac Brown he broke one. That's what he's going to do.
Oh, what a catch.
They got lucky. James Madison can't call plays.
He's still getting like 10, 12 carries. He needs 15 to 18, in my opinion. He's got to break more. And it seems like they're not using him out. I didn't watch the game super close. I mean, I watched it, but I wasn't tracking plays. But it seems like he's a good enough athlete. He could catch more balls out of the backfield.
He seems like their best player to me.
Yeah, 100%. Another thing, Louisville's defense or offensive line didn't hold up well against James Madison.
That's one of the big questions.
I thought James Madison, they hit hard.
Well, that's one of the big.
Those
good team. They're a good team.
They are good. I just like to see Louisville use Isaac Brown a little more, maybe use him a little different. That dude needs 15 touches minimum a game, not just handoffs, because that dude can break them at any time.
James Madison's play calling was absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Awful. They wouldn't let Sluka throw. I was waiting for Sluka to be the hero. I was talking about him last week. They put him in. I was waiting for him to be the hero, and they just would not let him throw the ball. I thought it was ridiculous how they just ran. And I talked about it on the first half, but that possession when they got it with about 5 minutes left in the game, that was the possession to go do something. They were down 6 or 7, and then they run twice in a row, and they're sitting on 3rd and 7, and they run a quarterback draw up the middle with 4.5 minutes left in the game, down a touchdown. I don't know. To me, it didn't look like they had any faith in Sluka to throw the ball.
No,
one of them probably defensive coaches. I don't know but it's probably one of them defensive coaches.
I thought they were doing that to set something up for late in the game. I was like, they're going to dive him, and they're gonna have him bite, get a little.
That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what you do.
But they never did it.
They're gonna suck the defense in and go over the top, and they
never did it. I will say
what's the point of doing that?
I like James Madison's coach, Bob Chesney. Seemed like he's definitely a young guy.
Is he from the Signetti tree or no? Did he coach under Signetti?
No, he started. Is that Holy Cross?
Okay.
So
okay.
I don't know
if like somebody stayed back.
No. But I like the guy. I like him. He seems like a really good young coach. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a job here in a couple of years at a
yeah. I like his attitude, the way he carried himself on TV, the way he talked, the way he acted around his players.
Well, whoever their offensive coordinator is, they need to send him wherever they send McDaniel and Tua.
Yeah, Louisville's off this week, early bye for them, and then they get Bowling Green coming in 2 weeks.
For me, I had a choice. Watch the Louisville James Madison game or go to the Holy Cross DeSales high school game. Son, it wasn't no choice for me. I wasn't going to the party deck. I wasn't watching them bums. On Friday night, I like going to games. We're going to a high school football game, baby. 1A Holy Cross Cougars versus the freaking 2 or 3A DeSales Colts, baby. DeSales won a game, good local Catholic high school game. So
were you the one that sent the video of the guy on the news, the U of L fan tailgating?
No.
So there was a video. There was the news was at the tailgating for the Louisville game, and they interviewed a fan that was out there tailgating, and I think the question was something like, "What do you love about being a Louisville fan?" Or it was something of that sort. And he goes, "Oh man, I just love the beer, had the party," and even mentioned the party deck. He didn't say nothing about football.
The Crown Royal, baby. Get the Crown
Royal. It's a party, and I catch you at the party deck, like Anthony said last week. Catch you at the party deck.
Hey, after the game, I had one friend call me. She was so drunk, she called the wrong Josh after the game.
Fuck, that ain't nothing but a bunch of drunks.
Oh, she's like, I said, were you calling me after that big James Madison win? She's like, oh, shit, wrong Josh.
You know you got to have an ID to buy liquor in there, dude. My freaking little niece is like 13 years old, and she buys all the beer.
Shout out Katrina.
Catch me on the party. Catch me at the party day.
My little niece, y'all hear that? My little niece is 13 years old, and she buys beers all day long. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, shit.
Who's Indiana got this week? Did they play?
They got the Fighting Larry Birds.
Oh, that's right. State. The Fighting Larry Birds. They beat the shit out of Kennesaw
French
State.
Lick, baby. The hick from French Lick.
Looked like they got back on track last week and scored like 50 or 60 against Kennesaw State. So Signetti's got them rolling again. Yeah. They're going to face the Fighting Larry Birds.
Do y'all remember Penix started off at Indiana? Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was good.
Next week they got Illinois, though.
Yeah.
If they can get past Larry Bird this week, it'll be an Indiana and Illinois matchup. And Illinois, dude, whoa.
They look good.
They looked freaking good. They were one of my top 2 picks of the week, and I wish I'd have bet a lot more on them because they rolled.
I like that bet too. I didn't bet enough.
Yeah. They rolled.
Yep.
All right, what do y'all think, guys? The Cats, we getting it done this week against Eastern Michigan. What's the score? Final score? Come on.
Kentucky. I'll do a $500,000. The offense is struggling. $500,000 to 0.
Always take the over with that.
Cutter throws for just 670.
I'm gonna take the Cats big. I think Cutter does get his shot. I think he plays well.
Over under on the 670.
Over.
I'm going over too.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over on the 670. I'm gonna go under on the $500,000.
You might want to rethink it.
Give me Cats 38, Eastern Michigan 3.
Okay. I thought you were gonna steal mine.
They get 3.
I'm going Cats 40-10. Late garbage.
I love both those scores. I really do.
Late garbage touchdown. We get tired. Say screw it.
I would definitely bet the under if I was y'all.
I wonder what it is.
$500,000.
Over under $500,000.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate it. We'll catch you next week on the right side of Kentucky sports. Blitz the Bookie.
See ya.
All right, guys. Later.